Welcome back to more of your stories on Green Street Adventures. Oh, hello. Excuse me, let me just, all right, hold on. Okay, comfortable. So, do you know who I am? I'll give you a hint. About 10 feet long, impressive tusks, 700 pounds, give or take. Right, I'm a walrus at your service. Oh. I live here in the Arctic with animals like polar bears. It is very, very cold here at the top of the world, let me tell you. But I've read about another place called the South Pole that is even colder, if you can imagine that. And this young author wrote a fascinating tale about unlikely friends from opposite sides of the globe in A World Apart, written and illustrated by Megan when she was in 6th grade at Regina Chaley School in Toledo, Ohio. Oh, Megan's a remarkable illustrator as well, so keep an eye out for her drawings. Now then, Megan begins her epic tale by writing, once there lived a penguin named Slush. Slush lived in Antarctica, or the South Pole, like many other wild penguins. But, she writes, Slush was bored of the South Pole, and he wanted to travel.
It's not that I don't love living in the coldest place on Earth. Who wouldn't? But I want to know what else is out there.
So, one day, Megan writes, Slush gathered some fish to eat and stood on a patch of ice. Then the penguin used his flipper to push the ice out to sea.
Whoa! Here I go!
Like Megan writes, he was on a trip. Check out her vibrant illustration of the penguin beginning his journey.
I'm ready for anything!
According to Megan, the water under Slush flowed quickly.
Whoa!
It took a long time.
I should have packed more fish.
But according to Megan, Slush floated all the way to the Arctic.
What? What now? Where am I?
Oh. Like Megan writes, Slush didn't know anything about the Arctic or the North Pole because it was on the other side of the world. He didn't know what animals lived there. Spoiler alert! It's animals like me! Whoa! Megan writes that the ice Slush was riding bumped into some new land. Slush got off his ice and explored this new place.
This reminds me of my home,
he said to himself.
I must be back in Antarctica, where I started.
Soon, Megan writes, Slush figured out that he was wrong.
Ah! What are you?
He didn't see any penguins.
You're right. I don't.
I know. And he felt lost.
I do.
But, according to the author, he did see lots of other interesting animals, like me.
Again, what are you?
I'm the narrator.
No. I mean, what kind of animal are you?
Oh, I'm a walrus, at your service. And other interesting animals, let's see, there's an Arctic wolf, an Arctic fox, an Arctic hare. Yeah.
So is it safe to say I'm in the Arctic?
Yes, it is. Good guess. Take a look around.
Thanks.
Enjoy yourself.
I will.
Love chatting with tourists. Oh, that's a lovely spot. Yeah. Megan writes, after waddling in the snow for a long, long time, Slush bumped into what seemed like a snowy hill. And he did what penguins do best. He climbed up the hill and slid down on his right leg. But, she writes, Slush was very surprised when the hill sat up and looked at him. According to Megan, the thing wasn't a hill at all. It was a big, furry, snow-colored creature with giant paws and tiny ears. Slush was scared because the animal was big enough to eat him. Megan writes this conversation.
Oh, I am so over a snowy hill. Please don't hurt me.
But the creature just held out his paw.
I'm Flurry, and I'm a polar bear. Don't worry because I won't hurt you.
As the author writes, Slush nervously held out his flipper, and they
Nice to meet you.
Likewise. Check out Megan's cartoon of us meeting for the first time.
Then Megan writes this dialogue for her characters.
It doesn't mean we can't be friends, but I've never heard of polar bears before.
That's just what I was wondering.
Flurry told his friend.
We've got to teach the people a lesson.
How come?
Because everyone thinks polar bears and penguins normally live in the same area, when that's not true. So many people who come here always look for the penguins first, and you guys don't live here at all.
Megan writes that Slush laughed and said,
We need to keep them from getting confused. The world would be so much different if that were true. Because some of your bear friends might want to eat us, and then there would not be as many penguins in the world.
You are right. Let's teach the world.
Yes, let's!
check out Megan's drawing of the two friends making their plan, with Slush gesturing excitedly. The next day, Megan writes, Flurry made a megaphone out of ice and snow.
Hello, penguin.
Slush got a bigger patch of ice ready to float around the earth, one that was strong enough to hold a penguin and a polar bear. Well, okay. Sounds like they really thought this through, huh? Megan adds that Slush also packed some fish. Then they work together to make a sign.
We're gonna change the world.
It's a sign!
Off we go.
And Megan writes, they were on a trip around the world. They were teaching cities.
I'm Antarctic!
I'm Arctic.
Penguins in the south!
Polar bears in the north.
States.
Penguins and polar bears live in different places. Nicely done.
Countries.
Southern hemisphere!
Northern hemisphere. Uh-huh.
And continents, about how Slush and Flurry were friends. Very different friends.
Educating the world is taking a long time.
Yeah, but we've seen some pretty interesting places.
I'll say.
Where to next? Let's see what's on the other side of this wall.
Yeah!
Megan writes,
Penguins, leopard seals, and orcas are Antarctic animals, but polar bears are not.
Flurry said,
Any questions?
Polar bears, caribou, and snowy owls are Arctic animals, but penguins are not.
Slush said,
There I am with the ice megaphone and our sign, sharing the information with the world.
In this picture, I'm the stage.
An important job.
I know.
So, Megan writes, if you have ever been by the sea and seen a penguin and a polar bear holding a sign and shouting information, now you know why. Soon, the whole world knew what was right. Oh, then she writes this conversation.
If we want people to truly believe us, we have to go back to our own homes.
When we're home, let's write to each other.
Yeah! Goodbye, friend.
Safe travels.
You too.
And they did. As Megan writes, it was always fun to get letters from each other. And the two friends never forgot the day they met.
Dear Flurry, I was so happy to get
Your last letter. I arrived home safely and am
catching up with my family.
I hope you and the others are doing well at the North Pole. We are.
Come visit soon. Your friend, Slush. Where can I find a stamp?
Slushy has incredible handwriting.
Megan finishes her story by writing, maybe you could keep the message of Slush and Flurry alive. If you find something that shows polar bears and penguins living together, well, now you know it's not correct.
Walrus! Walrus!
Yes.
I wrote another letter for Slush.
Oh.
You think you can drop it in the mail for me before it melts?
Sure thing. Did you remember to say hi for me?
Always.
Thank you. Off I go.
Oh. A wonderful narrator and a great friend, that walrus. Research an animal that you don't know much about.
What did you assume about that animal before you began?
How did your opinion change?